my name is Eileen Moncao, and today we're talking about Newton's third law of motion. So, what exactly is Newton's third law of motion? Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. What does this mean? This means that if I push my hand on this wall back here, the same amount of force that I push on the wall is going to push back at me. Let's take a look at what happens when I throw a tennis ball at my brother.
A force from the ball is applied to my brother. However, an equal force is also applied to the ball in the opposite direction, causing the ball to bounce back.
Another demonstration that I'll do is with a tennis ball and a racket. Here I have the racket, and I'm going to drop the tennis ball onto the racket. Notice that the tennis ball bounces back up. Why does that happen? That's because of Newton's third law. When the ball was falling downwards onto the racket, it exerted a downward force. However, we know that from Newton's third law, the racket must also exert a reaction force, going upwards, and that is what is causing the ball to bounce back up. Another example is my hand holding up this notebook. Gravitational force is pushing the notebook downwards, but there is an equal and opposite reaction force holding the book up, and that is called normal force. It's what's causing this book from not falling through my hand and onto the floor.
The same happens here. A force of gravity is pulling the gymnast down, but the reaction force is keeping her safe on their shoulders.
You may not realize it, but Newton's third law appears in your everyday activities too. For example, when you walk, it's Newton's third law that explains why you move forward.
Your feet applies a backward force on the ground, so an opposite force pushes you in the forward direction.
Another example is wheels on your car.
Similar to the way you walk, the wheel of the car is pushing backwards onto the road, and the road provides an equal force in the forward direction, causing the car to move forward.
Let's take a look at some other examples.
Here, the hammer pushing the nail down is the action force, and the hammer bouncing back up is the reaction force.
Let's take a look at what happens when I crash into my brother. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.